So recently, I've been playing a game called Edge of Eternity. Or should I say, I finished playing this game. I've been playing it on Steam, and I got a few things to say. I really like the premise of this game. I love the idea that mixes both fantasy with sci-fi, I guess. But I don't know, just it's something didn't work for me. And I'm a huge fan of RPGs, especially JRPGs, like the Tales of series. Well, especially those, but I like some of the other ones too, like the Mana series, Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger, all those type of games. Even if they're like turn-based, I actually don't mind that. I love Persona. I like that type of video game. But this one just doesn't hit the mark. I hate most of the stuff that it does, and I'll get into detail in a little bit. But it's just one of those games that it has everything going for it, and I don't like it in the end. I don't like the end result. And I've been playing a few other games. I'll try to make more recordings talking about them, but for now we'll stick to this one. So let's stick first with combat. I actually like combat in this game. It's probably what I like the most. You have a bit of a like a leveling up system where even like your characters get used to the type of weapon that they're using, and that's actually kind of fun. I like mostly switching between weapons and getting most of them leveled up. Even though like that doesn't really do much, but it's kind of fun. And another thing I like is the crystal system. There's like a system where you set crystals into the weapons, and each weapon has a very different grid system, but it doesn't really change that much, so it doesn't matter. But it's pretty good. I enjoy it overall. The music is alright in the game. It's whatever. And then the graphics are actually something that I got impressed by, because the game looks pretty good, but to me it looks good only when it's still. And I mean, that's kind of weird, but it's just how it is, right? When you're seeing the animations happen, and especially the facial animations, oh my god, dude, like this is horrible. And I've been hearing about this game for like, I don't know, years. And I've been hearing all the work that the people have put into this game and everything, and it's great, but it doesn't turn out to be a good product, at least in my opinion. And so yeah, like the facial animations, I think they're the worst thing about the game. And the other aspect that I want to talk about is the story. I was invested in the story for like maybe like the first 5 hours, and then eventually it started losing me, and I started fast forwarding some of their conversations, and then by the end of it I didn't bother finishing the game because the story just wouldn't carry itself. I ended up skipping some of the cutscenes because they were like insufferable. The characters are, I don't even know what to say to them. It's just I don't know, they're alright, but they're just not they're not good. And so if for some reason like you're coming across this and you're wondering like what the heck is this game, like is it good, I would say go play something else. I would recommend something like Dragon Quest, any of them. I would recommend, those type of games, like even like Phantasy Star games, which I want to talk about those games in the future too, because they're some of my favorite games of all time. But yeah, Tales of games, like even this game reminds me a little bit of Mass Effect, which I also want to talk about in the future. Even Mass Effect is a better, I know they're very different games, but they have like some small aspects that link them, at least in my head. So yeah, just go play something else. Like this game is, I don't know, to me it's not worth it. And like I put, I don't know how many hours, and let's see, I put almost 20 hours into the game, and even that just seems like too much, Another thing that I didn't like about this game is that it just has puzzles, and I'm not a huge fan of puzzles, to be honest, but in general, I don't hate them, right? It's just that in this game, the way that you solve puzzles is with the grid system in the battle, kind of like you're using the same grid system that you use in the battles, but you use it to solve puzzles, and most of them are okay and they're pretty simple and easy, but some of them are insufferable. And the ones I want to talk about specifically are the ones that are indoors. The ones that are indoors are the worst thing I've ever seen, or at least one of the worst things I've ever seen in video games, because the camera is just shit. The camera goes through the ground and it just goes all over the place. To me, it doesn't, like that then and there, when that happened to me, I should have quit the game right there, but I didn't, because I was like, yeah, just be fair to the game and just give it a try, just keep going and maybe it'll get better. And I'm here to say that it doesn't. The way that this game flows is not worth it. It's not worth all the trouble that you go through. Like the story, the characters, the puzzles, like I said, the animations, just everything is a mess. And I mean, I know that, at least for what I've heard, this game has been developed by not too many people, and so I don't want to give him too much shit for it, but at the same time, like I don't know. I mean, some of the areas are so goddamn big for no reason, right? The map is just way too big for no reason. There's a few areas that I want to mention before I finished, and those are two specific areas that the story makes you go through, and there are two parts of the game where most of the times you have a mount, and it doesn't go incredibly fast, but it does go a little faster running than running, I mean. And even then, like, even with the mount, you're not really that fast. But in these two specific scenarios, you actually are not allowed to use the mount. And these are two, like, just long, tedious, horrible, like, hallways. They're just going straight, right? And they never fucking end, dude. Like, this is horrible. I don't know why they thought that this was a good idea. Like, just make it shorter, or I don't know, just let me use the fucking mount. What the, it's a disaster. And the first time that it happened, I was like, man, I mean, I hated it, but I was like, no, whatever, right? Just, I let it go. And then the second time that it happened, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that it was happening again. And I'm just like running and running through the ugliest looking forest I've ever seen. And I get it, because in the narrative it makes sense that it looks that way. But I don't want to be there, for that long. Just make it shorter. What the hell is this, right? And this is the last drop, basically. You make it through this long ass fucking forest, just going straight, right? No mount. You're running. And you make it out after I don't know how many minutes. And even if it's like 10 minutes, it's 10 minutes too damn long. Like, I don't care. But you make it out, and as soon as you make it out, one of your characters says that she feels something, and that you guys gotta go back, and that triggers a side quest. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? And I know that you don't have to do it because it's a side quest, but I'm like, what if it gives me something important, right? Like, I don't know, like an upgrade or a weapon or something. And so I go back, and I go back into that fucking forest, and I'm like, no. And so when I actually made it out, I was laughing to myself, like deliriously. Like, I thought I was losing my mind. Like, it was bad. And I mean, I know what you're thinking. Oh yeah, that's it, and that's it. That's where you quit. No, actually, I kept going for like 3 more chapters, and I don't even know why. It just, nothing happened after that. It's just whatever. So yeah, that's what I have to say about Edge of Eternity. It's a good looking game. It's a pretty bland JRPG. Go play something else, please. And yeah, if you're interested in knowing my thoughts about any other game, and you made it this far, go ahead and let me know. I'll be sure to read whatever comment you leave, and also I'll be sure to post my thoughts on other games that I've been playing. So yeah, take care.